to spawn, respawn. I'm with Tyson from Toybox Games, and we're having a look at Primordials Fireborn. Tell us a little bit about your game, man.
Alright, so Primordials Fireborn is a third-person action-adventure game where you get to play as our fiery young protagonist Ash, who is an anthropomorphic phoenix. Our players have kind of described it like Fable crossed with Spyro the Dragon, but very much a story-driven experience. Yeah.
Amazing. I love the just the vibe and the aesthetic looks amazing. So a phoenix, hey? So how does that kind of work with like gameplay elements and your abilities and stuff like that in the game?
Yeah, absolutely. So as you can probably tell, in the build right now, we have just the singular kind of attack ability, which is the fireball. But what we want is ideally to be a lot of different fire abilities that you can activate. And being a phoenix, obviously that affords us a really cool opportunity to deal with things like rebirth. You know, like Goku Super Saiyan? Just imagine that. That's basically what happens, right? So like Ash can like die and respawn, but you have an opportunity to come back more powerful than what you were originally. And it's this really cool way that we progress the story forward, because usually what happens is Ash will die and he'll remember his previous lives, but for the first time ever from a story perspective, he wakes up and he can't remember. So that's the objective of the game, is you're taking Ash through the world to figure out why, for the first time, him as a phoenix, he can't remember what happened in his previous life and how he died. And it's your objective to go through the world and find the legendary Primordials, which are these ancient creatures with awesome power, to basically help you figure out what happened. So yeah.
That sounds amazing.
Thank you.
The demo at the moment, is this start of the game or is this partway through the game?
Yeah. So this is partway through. We call it like level 4 out of like 15. But the nature of how our like level progression works is probably more similar to things like God of War. So you've kind of got like a central hub area, and then from that hub area you go out to different like main missions, right? So right now what we're showing off is what we call a transitional level. So that takes you from the hub into what's considered a main environment. That's like a dungeon, so that's leading into a cave environment that you see at the end of the demo. And then that big dungeon will eventually lead to a major boss fight, which will be one of the Primordials. So
kind of that open linear gameplay is pretty popular and also super fun. Yeah. Awesome. What platforms are you looking to release on, and do you have a release date or anything in mind?
Yeah, cool. So we're absolutely aiming to be on PC and all consoles. Nothing can be confirmed, but it's the goal. As you can kind of see, we've built it with gamepad in mind, but of course you have keyboard and mouse control as well. And the release date is officially when it's finished, but we're actively in the process of seeking publisher funding. So if we get that, then hopefully pretty soon.
Yeah, that's awesome. And how big's the team that's working on the game?
So there's currently now 8 of us. We recently brought on a AI programmer to help us out, because currently in the build they're the worst part. They're dumb as bricks. But you know, it'll get to the point where hopefully they get to this like really high, you know, next tier level, which you can kind of see is what we're trying to achieve with our lighting and our art and stuff like that. But yeah, a team of 8 of us, and we work currently part-time. So pretty limited. The equivalent, what we've achieved here is about the equivalent of 11 months worth of full-time work, so yeah.
It's pretty impressive, man, for 11 months of full-time, I guess, with that smaller team. It is one of the graphically like prettiest games we've seen in PAX Rising as well. I love the like traversal as well, so like you can climb walls, and you're an anthropomorphic phoenix, but you don't have wings, you can't fly, I assume?
Yeah, so there's a reason for that. It's story beats. I don't want to give much away, but no, Ash cannot currently fly. But what happens in the future of the game, who knows?
That's awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for your time. Hope you've had an amazing weekend at PAX.
It's been really good.
Yeah, I know we have. Anything you want to add before we go?
No, just follow us on all our socials. So at TBX Games on Twitter, and same thing on Facebook. And on there, you'll be able to find pinned tweets that kind of link to our Discord. And then once we get enough followers on the Discord, we can have our custom URLs for that. But on our Discord is where we'll put up all of our alpha builds and our betas for anyone who's interested in that. So follow along. We've got we can answer dev questions and all that sort of stuff on there. So we're pretty active, which is good. So
sweet. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate your time. So check him out. TBX Games on Twitter, Facebook, and everything else. Thanks so much.